Hello guys and welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about an idea I had a few years ago for a new voyage in Sea of Thieves, Legendary Bounties. Since I made that video, Rare did add a voyage for Skeleton and Ashen Lords, but I think there should be an entirely new voyage of a hunt for a legendary skeleton pirate. The way it could work is once you start the voyage, you have to talk to an Order of Souls representative at the nearest outpost, similar to the way the second Tall Tale started. The representative would tell you the exploits of this pirate when they were alive, and their potential deeds, after a potential deal with Flameheart or another skeleton lord. You will then have to go to an island where they were last spotted. Once there, you'll have to fight a few waves of their crew before fighting one of the Legendary Bounties captains. Each location will be a new scene. This specific group may have been tasked with finding a new treasure, an ancient secret, or loot for the legendary captain. Once you've dealt with this wave, which will be similar to a normal skeleton bounty voyage, you get a location for the island where the actual legendary bounty is on. However, on the way, you could get attacked by maybe a special skeleton ship coming from the island, crewed by some of the Bounty's crew. This skeleton ship could be similar to a normal skeleton ship, or it could be different, maybe different textures, or more overpowered. Once the fight is over, you get a variety of new loot, or even similar loot that you get to fighting a normal skeleton galleon. Then, you get clues where the bounty is on the island, and you have to hunt for them, following trails and debris, maybe even finding remains. I don't know how it could work, but this is kind of just a general idea. However, at the end, you have a final showdown of a legendary bounty, which could be a little easier than the Skeleton Lord battle, or could be harder, depending on what Rare decided. Once defeated, they could award a plethora of new loot, or upgraded version of loot from a normal Skeleton Lord. I think this would be a really cool idea, as it could tie in with the lore of a game, referencing key characters or moments, or even have an integral part of a story. It could reference characters such as DeMarco, maybe they were a member of DeMarco's crew, a member of the Arena. It could be an ex-member of Flameheart's crew who was a legendary pirate in their own right. I think it'd be really interesting to explore lore characters in Sea of Thieves and learn about their exploits either before being a skeleton or after being a skeleton, or both whilst in Sea of Thieves. I think it'd be exceptionally interesting. I imagine this could work similar to Red Dead Online's legendary bounty system, where there are a set number of legendary pirates to hunt down, each being different from the other, each being in maybe a set location or having a set few locations, each having their own unique story, their own unique battles. Each encounter could be different. As I mentioned earlier, the first crew could be tasked with doing a number of things. I think some ship-on-ship combat could be very interesting as well. And maybe after hunting all of them down, you have to engage in a showdown with Flameheart or another overpowered skeleton lord who's been controlling all of these skeletons. I honestly think this could be really interesting. It could be an entire new update in Sea of Thieves, or it could just be kind of a mini update midway through the season. But I think it would be really cool if we could get, 9 legendary bounties, for example, like in Red Dead, or maybe even only 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. It would really add to the lore of a game whilst being a very fun new voyage to basically complete. And obviously, whilst there would only be a set number, you could repeat this over and over again, right? So you could do the same boss 10, 15, 20 times. There could be commendations for this. You could get whole new sets of cosmetics. I think it'd be really interesting if the legendary bounties, similar to the way they do in Red Dead, were added into the game. I think some of the most fun I've had in Red Dead Online was hunting legendary bounties with my friends. I think it would be really interesting in Sea of Thieves to have this as well, to have a whole new spin on the lore. I think this would tie in very well with the new Reaper update they just added, and genuinely, I think this could be a very fun update for Sea of Thieves. I think it could add a lot to the game, and I'd be really excited if this was added. So the kind of framework with this voyage was just my personal ideas, but they could go a whole number of ways with legendary bounties, and with the idea of these legendary bounties. So I'd be really excited to see if they ever added this. I really hope they do, but I doubt they will. But it's just a suggestion. I hope they do. So let me know what you guys think of this suggestion in the comments. I hope you agree and enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.